Yeah,
So the lighting is good.
you look wonderful.
I try my best for you every time we hop on one of these things.
Yeah, don't do it for me. Do it for the customers.
Well, fortunately, we don't video chat, or maybe we'll start video chat. And I know a lot of people want to video chat with you. We've got a lot of Ray Shefska fans out there. They appreciate your candor, you know?
Well, you know, I really did do a video chat with our customer from Bolivia, but that that's another story for another day.
Well, without getting into the weeds too much or
Yeah.
sharing names or anything quite like that, I thought what we would do today is an extension of what we were doing right before I hit record, which is talking about and ranting a little bit about dealer outreach and how to actually get a hold of a dealer. Now, for your 43-year career, you held many roles. You saw the car industry evolve. I take it back in '77. How were people actually contacting you if they were interested in a car deal?
Well, in 1977, they either showed up
Yep.
or they called us. Okay, and maybe some used regular mail at that time, but I don't really remember that. But they either saw an ad in the newspaper that had our phone number attached to it, and they called us, and our phone rang, and we answered it, or they actually showed up, and we either did or didn't pay much attention to them when they walked into the showroom.
And so I guess what I really kind of wanted to talk about today, Dad, is we have a guide that you wrote a couple weeks back, and maybe it was a couple months back. It was one of the first ones we ever put up, and it was about what you need to actually take with you to the dealership to be taken seriously. And obviously, right now, and the frustrations we were venting about a minute ago are it's all the outreach we do on behalf of our clients to dealers. And you were telling me you've got a customer, in Pennsylvania, and you reached out to how many dealers?
Here's the beauty of this. Pennsylvania was literally, when it came to auto sales,
Yeah.
shut down for 6, 7 weeks. And the governor finally said, okay, I'll relent. You can sell cars online. You can do it online, not at the dealership, but online.
Yeah.
Okay. So the dealers finally, I guess it was a week or so ago, maybe 10 days ago maximum, that they got to reopen in the sense that they could actually try and sell cars again. So I reached out to 10 Volkswagen dealers in Pennsylvania yesterday on behalf of one of our customers.
Yeah.
Two, count them, two got back to me. Two.
Yeah.
Now, the other 8, either maybe they've completely shut down and absolutely just gone out of business. And if they haven't done that yet, perhaps they should, because if you've been shut down for 7 weeks and you finally start getting internet leads, you would think, at least in my crazy mind, you would think you might want to actually respond to them,
Yeah.
because there could be a little bit of pent up demand that you might be able to satisfy. But
Yeah.
you can't satisfy that demand if you don't reach back out to your customer. If you're going to insist to me that I have to hound you so that you can sell my client a car, well, you got another thought coming. It ain't my job to keep hounding you. It's your job to hound my ass, not me hounding your ass.
So I think I've got two thoughts going through my head, Dad. One is if you go back and watch the original Your Auto Advocate videos, the nice ones that I filmed on a nice camera when Ray was still living with me, we were at that same house. They were nice. He was really, really like 100% retired. You can tell the tone. It's changed. So that's one thought. The second thought is let's pivot this video. Let's not talk about what you need to take to be taken seriously, because we've got the guide. I'll link to it in the description. It's nothing too crazy. What we should talk about is how you, when you were in your position, handled internet leads, because we're experiencing that frustration. And I bet you people in the comments below will tell us they've reached out to dealers and it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit the way that they're treated. So maybe you could share with us how you used to do it and how you think dealers should be doing it.
Well, the way I used to do it is I required that internet leads be responded to within 15 minutes. That was the maximum amount of time I wanted an internet lead to have to wait to get some type of response, even if it was a canned response saying, hey, we're presently closed, but we've got your information, and as soon as we reopen, we'll be more than happy to get back to you. Now, what I would tell my salespeople to do was to actually read the lead. This is such a foreign concept.
It's a crazy concept.
It really is. Read the lead. If there are questions that are being posed to you within the lead, answer them.
Wait, can you repeat that?
If there are questions, answer them. Not difficult, just answer them. Gee, if somebody saw a mini that we had and had an MSRP of $28,975, and they said, "Hey, I see that it has an MSRP of $28,975. What can you sell it to me for?" The answer wasn't, "Hey, when can you get here?"
Yeah.
Okay, the answer was, "Hey, I appreciate the fact that you've shown some interest in this particular car. Yes, the MSRP is $28,975. At the present time, we're discounting those cars by $895 or whatever the number was."
Yeah.
Give them an answer. I don't think the best way to serve anybody anything is if they ask a question and you just ignore it. For instance, if I may, just indulge me for a moment because you know how crazy I am. For instance, let's just say you and I went to a diner to grab breakfast.
We've done that once or twice, yeah.
Okay, so let's say I ask the waitress, if I get eggs and home fries, does that come with toast? And she says, "How do you feel about coffee?" I don't know. I'm still asking about the damn toast.
Yeah.
Does it come with toast? Coffee's a separate issue.
Yeah.
Answer the customer's question, whether it be the guy sitting in the diner. "Hey, is your apple pie fresh? Hey, what do you think? Iced tea? No, is the apple pie fresh? Damn it!" And yes, my tone has changed. I bet if I went to my doctor today and had my blood pressure checked,
You're gonna
it's
make
a
me
lot
feel
higher.
bad.
It's a lot higher today than it was 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when, I don't know, I'd get it checked and it was like 120 over 80. Now it's probably 150 over 90 because I get to deal with all these dumb ass car people that I could never get through to as a sales manager.
I'm drinking coffee out of your mug.
Yeah, it's a lovely mug. I drank coffee out of my mug.
Oh, that's cute. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's because you stole mine.
I hope I'm not stealing years off your life by having you do this work. Fingers crossed. No,
Yes.
You'll make a difference. I really, really think you do. And one way I think we can maybe make a difference in this video is communicating to the audience, what tactics or techniques can we use?
It's not tactics or techniques that we can use.
Yeah.
Okay. It's what business practices and tactics and techniques can the car dealers start to implement? How can they train from the dealer principal on down?
Yeah.
How can they be retrained to understand that it's a customer-oriented business, that you need to take care of the customer? And if you take care of the customer, other things follow. One of the things that we're always harping on, when we're working on behalf of our customers, is price. Okay. And one of the comments I saw today is, well, it really shouldn't be price. It should be value. Car salespeople don't sell value. And that's true, because do you know when somebody says yes to buying anything, whether it be a car, whether it be a house, whether it be the next Apple iPhone, do you have any idea when they say yes?
What do you mean? Like when? What do you mean?
Yeah, when will the customer finally say, "Okay, I'll take it"?
When they're ready to take action.
No, they'll say yes when the value you've built up in whatever it is you're selling exceeds the asking price, and not a moment before. So rather than mistreating your internet customers who are asking you questions, asking for different things, and you not providing answers to those questions, how about you start providing the value that your customers are basically begging you for,
Yeah.
And at a certain point, the asking price will be exceeded by the value, and the customer will say, yes,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
No.
It's
Yeah.
it's not that hard.
No, no, it's not hard at all. And do you think it's in part, I mean, you've been a part of so many trainings and things like that throughout your career. Do you think it's a part of, that culture within the dealership that's just kind of unwilling to pivot and shift? And then there's also, we could probably do a whole video on it, the nepotism within the car business. So you've got just family ownership, and then it never pivots, it never changes.
Well, part of the problem is the dealer principals think that their children's inherited their business genes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. You
And
know,
and that's not to say, I mean, some
some have.
kids do it way
I've worked.
better, but some do it way better than their parents did.
Yes, I've worked with some that are actually willing to learn the business and want to work in the business, and then I've worked with others that, the kids are the kids, and it's just, hey, my dad gave me this. Okay, great. You know, it's it's hard to get dealerships to pivot from the training that we've always gotten in the industry that was provided, because the training was never customer centric. And well, they would say it is, but it's not as customer centric as it should be.
Yeah.
And it needs to be based more on your customers' perceptions and your customers' feelings, as opposed to the salesperson's perceptions and the salesperson's feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, the salesperson shouldn't take it personally when a customer doesn't trust them based on how they've been treated in the past at other dealerships. But what that salesperson could do, and I know something that I've done, is I've looked at a customer and say, I understand your frustration, but I'm just letting you know you can't paint this canvas with a brush that's that broad. Not every one of us fits into that category. We're not all the same. There are some of us, albeit a very, very small portion of us in the car business, who just want to make it as easy as possible for you. I, I don't know what the upside is of making it difficult, although a lot of dealers do that.
And back
But
to,
yeah, but what could possibly be the upside of that?
that's what I'm trying to think. The 8 other dealerships in Pennsylvania that didn't get back to you.
That and all 8 of them need a car sale because, well, they haven't had any for 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't understand what that rationale is. I don't understand what the driving force is behind dealerships that would operate like that and look at an opportunity and go, I don't need that one.
Yeah. And I mean,
Okay.
honestly, that's why we started Your Auto Advocate, right? That's why we came up with the name Your Auto Advocate. Hearing these stories from you over the years resonated with me on such a deep level that it said there's got to be a better way. And we see some innovation in the car space, right? We see Tesla going around and not even having dealerships, and there's pros and cons to that just as well. But for the
Mhm.
foreseeable future, I mean, there's close to 17,000 car dealerships out there.
Yes.
And before the pandemic that struck this year, there was expected 17 million cars and light trucks were going to be sold in the U.S.
New
New.
cars and light trucks, not including any of the pre-owned cars and trucks that were going to be sold this year.
So there is a huge need to make this better, and the unfortunate reality is that it's at the expense of my dad's health right now. But
My health is fine.
your health is fine. All right. Yeah. Well, you enjoy making these videos and sharing your perspective, and I guess like all our videos, we'll ask if you have any specific insights you want or questions you want to pose to Ray. My job here is to just try and get as much info out. I remember when we first started making these YouTube videos, and I convinced my dad to do it. He was reluctant, but then he did it. And part of it, he said, was so that there could be a legacy left when I have kids someday or my sister has kids someday. So send your questions along, and we'll be able to document them in part of Ray's legacy here.
Well, I want my grandchildren, whenever I have them, to be able to have some sense of who their grandfather was and what he stood for. I will be honest to tell you that I have fought a very lonely battle to try and make the necessary changes in the car business as we know it. But most of those battles were worth fighting, because there just needs to be improvement. There just needs to be improvement.
And I got to tell you, I've never been more proud to be on your team. You know, it feels like we're fighting the good fight, even though we're about to hop off this Zoom call. You know, I'll stop the recording and we'll go back to fucking pounding sand, man. But, you know, I'm proud. I'm happy to do it with you. It feels like we make a bit of a difference every day.
Well, that's the goal. That's really the goal.